Hey guys, today I'm going to be bringing you along on my day trip in a canoe down the North Branch of the Whitewater River in southeastern Minnesota. I'm going to link the route information below in case this is a route that you want to check out. Although I have to caveat that this was very difficult and I would not recommend this for the beginner paddler. So this is a 16-mile section of the river that starts in Carley State Park and ends in Whitewater State Park. This section of river is a part of the Whitewater River watershed and ultimately flows into the Mississippi River. I have never heard of anyone going down this section, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm in for. This section of river is rather remote and flanked by bluffs and sandstone cliffs as high as 200 feet, so there won't be any turning back once I start. The day started at Carley State Park, which was very beautiful, and I was the only person there. The river appeared to be calm and shallow. This was a sunny spring day with highs in the upper 40s and a north wind of 5 miles per hour. My dog Louie was my constant traveling companion. There was a footbridge in the state park made out of these big cement blocks that I had to cross. This was pretty easy. You can see that the river is probably 2 to 3 feet deep at the most in this section. My first obstacle was this bridge on private property. I estimated that I could probably squeeze through there without getting out of my canoe. And look, it worked! We did it! The route was very picturesque and beautiful, but as expected, there were many downed trees and log jams. Fortunately, the current in the upper part of the river was not strong, and navigating these logs was relatively easy. Because of the sandstone rocks on the river, erosion from farmland was pretty minimal, and you can see some of that here. There were some very big, lovely pine trees and cedars along the way, as well as wildlife, such as hawks, deer, ducks, and most frequently, very noisy geese. The sandstone was beautiful, and the bluffs and cliffs got taller and taller as we lost elevation towards Whitewater State Park. It's been in the 40s for a few days here in Minnesota, but there were still some icicles on the rocks here. The river began to get difficult about 1 mile into my trip. Unfortunately, about every 200 to 300 feet, the depth of the river was too shallow to pass with my canoe. There were also big limestone boulders that were difficult to see. This constant stopping and starting turned what I thought would be a 5-hour trip into a 7-hour trip. I did see many trout in the slower sections, and one was even rather big and appeared to be 8 or 10 inches long. The river was like a long and gradual slide. We started at about 1,100 feet above sea level and ended at about 740 feet. Further down the river, when the current became fast and the volume of water was greater, there were many more challenging sections with boulders and log jams. For this reason, I don't recommend this section of river for beginners or maybe even low intermediate.